many ministries and chambers and.
Not to that extent.
And in addition to all of this, she's a social media sensation. She's everywhere. On LinkedIn alone, she has more than 200,000 followers. So thank you for joining us. A warm welcome for Sarah. This is going to be a Q&A. Dimitri has a few questions that will start and will moderate, and then we'll leave it to the audience to have their own questions. Dimitri?
Yeah, sure. We can start, but guys, also feel free to ask. Yeah, you will see me now. Feel free to ask questions, but I guess the first, Sarah, please tell us, especially, I'm sure a lot of people know you in Dubai, but for people in Dublin, please tell us a few words. What do you do? How do you do it? And the branding concept, but sharing it, connecting it a little bit to your professional experience.
My name is Sarah Al-Madani, and I'm a serial entrepreneur in the UAE. I sit on the board of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Sharjah and the Ministry of Economy, the SME Council in Dubai. I'm in different sectors, fashion, tech, branding, marketing, advertising, and so many. I have companies in so many different fields because I believe you live once and you have to explore and find out all your potentials, basically. Now, self-branding is something I really believe in. And as a speaker, whenever I travel the world and speak, I always speak about self-branding because it's how people perceive you, it's how you carry yourself and how you continue carrying yourself the right way. So I'm here to talk about the art of self-branding and why is it important and how to actually achieve it.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So this is perfect. So I guess the next question I would ask you, tell us how you stay basically in control of yourself when you are in front of the audiences, and how do you really deliver the message? So what's your secret sauce? How do you brand yourself when you really want to position yourself in front of audiences, especially government organizations like Chamber of Commerce and stuff? How do you brand yourself, and how do you make people so that people can hear you, your message, and clearly delivering it to them?
So it all starts by number one is aligning your ethics and priorities. What are your ethics? What are your priorities? How do you view things? That's the first thing you do. You have to have that communication between you and yourself. Second thing is, what are the characteristics I want to highlight? When I leave a room or when I'm somewhere, what do I want people to remember me as? And that's how I highlight my actions and my communications and everything that I do. And I'll just give a small example. I had a friend of mine who was working in one of the biggest companies, and everybody knew she was the hardworking person that never leaves the office until everything is done efficiently and in good quality. So once she was telling me that she's not happy in her job and she wanted to leave her job. And she was like, this is her exact words, Sarah, I'm going to leave, so I'm going to just deliver the last project I have in any way I can, and any shape and form, and leave. And then I sat there and I thought to myself, I'm like, but that's not how you are branded. Why are you killing your own personal brand because you're not happy somewhere? And that's what I always tell even all my employees. I say, if you're not happy somewhere, you're not a tree with roots to the ground. You can leave. But before you leave, don't destroy the legacy that you built for yourself in terms of your brand or reputation. You are amazing. You're damn efficient. So don't let anyone affect that brand that you have or that perception that you created and that legacy that you created. And think of yourself as like a bag, a famous bag, or like a famous brand out there. They would do anything to keep their brand alive. Therefore, you have to do anything to keep your brand alive and not let anyone affect you. You asked me, how do I carry myself, and how do I continue carrying myself in a positive way? If I thought of myself as a brand, every single thing I say, every single move, every step, every job I do is a marketing tool for my brand. So therefore, I'm not going to market myself in a bad way, in any shape or form, because I want to keep that brand the way it is. And if you walk around and if you carry yourself in that way, you will never let yourself down. You will never let your brand down. Because you are efficient, I say you're a beast at what you do. So don't let anyone take that away from you, and don't let people affect you when you do that.
Thank you. And now you referred a lot to personal brand and how important it is. So can you maybe name top 3 personal qualities which you use as a basis of building it. So to achieve what you said now, what are the top 3 things you need to think about to be there, to use it effectively as a marketing tool, as you said?
The thing is, there isn't there is no order or points that people should apply to themselves, because everyone is a unique brand. So, for example, when you go to an office and you want to get something done, people would tell you, don't ask Tom, he's lazy. Don't ask Lisa, she's always sleeping. Ask Muhammad, he's always doing things. Ask this guy, he's very kind, he'll do it even if he's busy. Each one of them had a brand that they created for themselves. One showed that they're lazy, one showed that they're always sleepy, one showed that they're hardworking, one showed that they're kind. It all depends on what are the characteristics you want to highlight in yourself. What do you want to tell people about you? And that's how you start acting upon these points. You pick 4 things that you want to be remembered for, whether you're hardworking, kind, practical, easygoing, fun. Pick 4 and just stick to them and apply them in everything you do. The way you handle your team, the way you talk to your manager, the way you talk to your friends. And a lot of people say, oh, this guy has a personality in the office and another one outside. Well, that's good. That's not him being two-faced. That's him actually building a brand at work and then building a brand outside. And that's completely up to you. You are in charge of your brand. You are in charge of that product. You control it however you want. So I cannot tell you it takes A, B, and C to build efficiency in building a personal brand. It all depends on you and how you want to be perceived. I know people who want to be mean. I know people who want to look like they're bad. They do it purposely because that's part of their branding. They want to look like the evil person in the organization or whatever, you know? So it all depends on you. Ghassan is putting his hands up.
It's a great thing, and I really like what you said. Think about things which you want to be remembered for. It's actually a big concept in personal branding and big exercise. If you want to build a good personal brand, you need to really think, what do you want to be remembered for? And it's a good exercise how you can build, as you say, your unique way, your unique approach. Perfect. Sarah, thanks. One more question I have here is, can you maybe talk us about the success story lately, a professional success story, where your personal brand helped you to achieve a milestone? Either you were doing a project or you were doing a negotiation, like a professional situation where you have applied your personal brand and it helped you to achieve a specific milestone.
I have one small story. The thing is, when you are a brand, you always have success stories every single day because you just open doors. But I remember I had one client in my creative agency in Los Angeles. And the thing is, when you apply for a job or when you take a job as a company from a client, you have committed to deliver the quality, the efficiency, the services that you promised. If you agree to take it at a lower price, you still committed to achieving everything you have to achieve, but it's your, like for example, a lot of people okay, let me start over. There's a story where a client wanted to do something in Hollywood for a movie. And in your mind, you'd go like, fine, I'll charge him based on the project. But his budgets were so low that I couldn't even take the project. But because I wanted to be involved in that scenery, I took it on board. And I knew that the payment they're going to pay is not going to cover anything. So my team were sitting down with me and they're like, we're not going to work hard. We're not going to do that for them. We're not going to give them A, B, and C, and D. We're going to give them just A and B because they paid for that. And then I sat down and I was like, you know what? The client was very rude. So I was like, the client is rude, very picky, paid us peanuts, but you know what? We are who we are. We're going to deliver the work on time. We're going to kill it. We're going to give it the best we can because our work is what markets our brand. So this showed my personality to the client, this showed my personality to my team, and this also teaches my team how to build their own brand in the future if they venture in different jobs or they create their own business, that to take commitment seriously. If you took a job and you're not happy in the job, leave. Don't perform badly because you're still getting paid. You're still getting paid as much as you were promised because you were supposed to deliver a certain job, right? So if you're not happy, just leave. But that doesn't give you the right to perform badly and to say, fine, I took it, but I'm not happy, therefore I'm not going to perform. You are killing your own brand. So this is a mistake a lot of people do, where they let their emotions control their brand. That's not how it happens. The biggest brands in the world go through emotional waves, but their brand remains the same. So don't ever let your brand down, no matter what happens. You took a commitment, you do it.
That's great. I really, really appreciate it. I also now wanted to open it to the team in Dubai. Ghassan, I know you also may have some questions, and the people in Dubai. Then we turn back into Dublin, if you don't mind.
Sarah, I have one question. So, being an Arab lady in a somehow conservative environment, does it create any challenges for you to be active on social media, to be like the face of some brands? Does it create any challenges, or are those barriers in our minds only?
I think those cultural barriers are in our mind. And to me, culture is like a box of chocolate. I pick what I like, and what I don't, I keep it. So that's how I treat my culture. I respect it, and I love it so much, but every individual takes whatever they want out of that box and just applies it to themselves. And to me, what I do is, when people see me dressed like this, and they know where I come from, immediately they have an image in their mind about me. So what I do is, I always, when there are men in the room, I would sit with the men, I would communicate, I would shake hands, I would break that ice immediately to show them that I am a normal individual and nothing affects the image that I have. So does that put restrictions? It does. If your mind is restricted. And I believe that I'm a free person, so I have the choice to do whatever I want. And I've branded myself in such a good way that if anyone spoke badly about me, no one would believe you. Even if I really did something bad, no one would believe you. So it's all about self-branding.
All right. Audience, any question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how do you change a negative brand to a positive brand? So for example, you're a hard worker, you're great, you're excellent, but there is a brand perception
Yeah.
of you that is not being, people look at you in a different way,
Yeah.
but you want your brand to be that I'm a hardworking, good, great person. So how do you go from perception of what you perceive it to an excellent brand that you want to build? I think a lot of people face this challenge.
Sorry. Dublin, did you hear the question, or shall I rephrase it quickly?
Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, we did.
You, excellent.
Okay, so look, the thing is, there is no smoke without fire. If they have a certain perception of you, it's because you gave that indication about yourself. When you're never in the office, when you're always hiding on the computer, when you're always on your phone, you're telling people something about yourself.
She knows you well.
So
It's like you had before.
I can read for people. No, but the thing is, it's all about your mindset. A lot of people say, yeah, but they already have that perception about me. No, everything can be changed. You can change anything. And it's your actions that speak louder than your words. You might say, I want to change, but you're not doing anything about it. It's all about execution. You want to start tomorrow and become the best one in the room and the best employee of LinkedIn? Your actions will market everything you want to do. So it's basically changing your mindset. Instead of seeing the cup half empty, you see it half full. And that's how you make life easy, changing your mindset. The mind is like a machine. The more you train it, the more it changes. But it's all about execution in the end.
Yes, Marwan.
Do you have more questions from Dubai?
Yeah, one more from Marwan.
So how do you handle criticism in a manner that would not affect your professional brand?
Yeah.
Given on social media specifically.
Okay. Okay, so how do I handle criticism?
Yes, please. In a manner that would not affect your personal brand.
Why would it affect me? They don't know me personally on social media. For me to take anything personally, it takes training. In the beginning, it used to bother me, but then I was like, you know what? That's a person sitting somewhere nobody knows, hiding behind a phone or a computer. Why will that even bother me? I work so hard. I know who I am. I know what I can do. So that person is nothing compared to me. I don't even let it get under my skin. I don't even let it, like, for a second, split second, take a minute out of my day to think about. Because every single minute in your life is precious. You can't take it back. Time is the most precious thing. My well-being, my performance is not going to be affected by anyone negative out there. Even if it's not just social media, even if it's someone being negative to me in my work environment or at my business or something like that. I would never let get to me, because if you can do something about it, why worry? If you can't do something about it, then why worry? But you know, within our culture as human beings, we're always taught to worry, because that gap between a problem happening and a problem wearing off, if you're not going crazy, then you're not normal to people. But if you're calm and collected, that's when you make the right decisions, and when you remain positive, that's when you make changes. So it's a choice. You want to cry about it, you want to smile, nothing will change. So it's all about what do you want to achieve in the end. So I don't let anything bother me. I'm very chilled and easygoing.
More questions from Dubai?
Yes, Magda.
You mentioned that everyone should have a set of values that they want people to remember them for. So what would be your main value that you want us all to remember?
To me, my main value at all my businesses, at life, at home, with friends, with family, is people come first. So, and I know a lot of people say that, but I really mean it. I would actually leave a friend or let go of an employee if they treated other people badly. If I want to judge a person I just met, I look at how they treat others in public, waiters, staff. I look at how that treatment is. To me, if you want to be a leader at your work, whether you're an employee or a business owner, it's all about serving, and it's all about serving from your heart. When you serve from your heart, no mistakes are done, because you're always genuine about what you do. So when you want to be a leader, you should be ready to serve from the top to the bottom. So when my staff are busy, I make them coffee. When my staff are busy, I clean the office with them. So the CEO and the co-founder is doing all of that. You're showing them that there's no barriers. We're all the same, but we're in different levels, but that's fine, because each of us is putting food on the table. So for me, people come before anything, before money, before work, before anything. So I value people so much, because everything is replaceable, but people aren't. Once they're gone, they're gone.
More questions in Dubai, or we'll open up to Dublin? Yeah, go ahead.
Last one.
Have you ever met somebody?
Sure.
Have you ever met somebody that's so worried about their personal brand that the sincerity of the person is lost? So you don't know whether the person is actually sincere, because you can see that they put up this whole facade of their personal brand.
Are you talking about the work field?
In
Personal?
work, yeah.
The thing is, how long can a person act? They can't pretend to be something they're not for a long time. And when you're preparing yourself to be branded, you're not faking anything. That's why I said align your ethics, align your characteristics, your traits, and then take that as a brand and put it out there. Some people in their ethics is I am beyond everyone. That's your ethics. That's how you want to brand yourself. Fine, go ahead, go for it. You know. So it's all about how you want to brand yourself, but how you interact, let's say personally, with someone who has that facade at work. I don't care, as long as the work is done, as long as I am fair, as long as I am doing everything I can for everyone around me. I don't care what's behind that facade. You know what I mean? If you branded yourself so well that I thought you were the best employee, which you weren't, literally with time, everything gets discovered. You know, I always say masks slip very fast. They don't last long. So personal, non-personal, that's how I deal with. I just give it time. I always take red flags into consideration. They exist for a reason, and I 100% follow my gut feeling. 100%. Yeah. Any more questions from Dubai? Dublin.
Eventually we can move to Dublin.
Thanks, Dubai. So we'll go into Dublin now. Luigi first.
Hello, hi, I'm Luigi from Dublin. I have a question. I was thinking about personality versus personal brand, and in regards, oh, sorry. Yeah, guys, you see me now. Hi. And so personality versus personal brand. And I'm talking about introvert people. So I'm talking about myself in this case. So introvert people stepping into leadership roles, especially in companies like LinkedIn. Sometimes I have the impression that you have to kind of shine all the time, but at the same time, your personality is the way you are. So you don't want to betray yourself when you're talking to yourself. So which kind of advice can you give to introvert people that are actually stepping into leadership role and somehow they have to work probably harder for their personal brand?
So basically, leadership is about communication. So if you're an introverted person and want to take a leadership role, you need to open up to communication and you need to open up a little bit more, loosen up more. But you also have to train your mind to remember that just because you are going to be a little bit more social, it doesn't mean these people have to be involved in your life personally. So introverted people, they just like to be alone, right, all the time. Whether it's at work, whether it's personal, they want their space. So when it comes to your personal life, you still have that. You don't let that go when it comes to leadership. But when it comes to leadership, you have to be open to communication, to talking. People are looking at you. People are looking at your actions, what you say. A leader sets an example to everybody. You are a parent when you're a leader. You're a friend. You are a manager. You're a boss. You're a therapist. You are a lot of things when you're a leader. So if you want to take on that role, you got to prepare yourself, but remind yourself that I still have my personal space. No one can invade that. You have to keep reminding yourself that, because the minute people think they need to open up a bit, they think, oh, my personal space is gone. No, it's not. So you can still have that part of your personality, but you need to loosen up. You need to open up more, because leadership is all about communication. If I say there's a difference between management and leadership, for a manager, I've seen so many introverted managers, but if you want to be a leader at what you're doing, you have to completely change that a bit. So be more open, be more flexible, because everyone has their eye on you. You're the visionary, you're the eyes of this whole entity. So you have to be out there a little bit. And sometimes branding, you mentioned you have to shine always. Self-branding isn't always about shining. Some people have the personality that goes with the branding, so they're always shining. Some people don't have that personality, but their brand is still shining, because through their work, they prove to people they are A, B, C, and D. So if you're an introvert and you don't want to shine always at what you do, and you don't want to do all these things, it's okay. Through your work, prove to people that you are a brand. You don't have to always be shining. But as a leader, you have to be a communication person. It's very important. I mean, communication is key to everything.
Great. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Luigi, for the question, anyone else? Okay, we have Laura. Great. Laura is our media consultant here in Dublin.
Thanks, Luigi. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for it's been really insightful so far. I just had one question I was interested in. As somebody that's very public and on social media a lot, how do you build?
Let's come to the camera if you're public. I want to see you.
Oh, hello. Got it back here.
All right.
It's just something I'm interested in. I've got a few friends that are social media bloggers, much smaller scale than you. But how do you build resilience to comments or questions or queries or people asking or maybe being negative about you and your brand? Because as people that maybe, to Louise's point, aren't necessarily comfortable being on social, you have to build a resilience to some negative comments, because people can be keyboard warriors. So I'm just interested to hear how you manage that and how you tackle that.
So I do two things, okay? Number one is how I manage it. Number two is how I respond, okay? So how I manage it, I mentioned earlier. They don't pay my bills. They don't know me. It's not a personal relationship online. They're probably in a different country, 1,000 miles away, don't know anything about my life. So I don't blame them for thinking in that way. So I never let any of that bother me, because it's not personal. How I respond, I always respond in a positive way. So if someone says, oh, you look like this, or you have features of this animal, or blah blah, like you have the weirdest comments online. My response would be, you are way more, for example, if a girl writes this, I will reply by saying, you're more way sophisticated than this. You are way higher than this comment that you wrote, and I think you're way beautiful, and you can shine in a better way. And you always have a sister here if you need anything. I always reply positively, and what happens is the conversion rate out of 100 is always 60%. They become better people. So I always believe that when you go somewhere, you leave people better than the way you found them. So I always reply with an open heart, with kindness, trying to change that person and embarrass them with that positive response. And believe it or not, like 40% come back attacking more, which is weird. And some 60% gets converted and they apologize and they say we'll never do it again, and they send private messages and saying thank you for responding in that way. You changed our perspective. So how you react to nonsense is very important, because you're creating a trend, you're creating a change. You never know who you might inspire. So it's so easy for me to walk away and be negative and say, oh, whatever, I don't care. But it takes a lot to, gather your senses, gather yourself, and reply with something kind to something unkind. But hey, that's my brand. So I don't know. You guys select your brand. So yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
More questions from Dublin? Looks like none. Okay, then Sarah, thank you so much
Thank
indeed for your
you.
time.
Thank you so
And
much.
it was a pleasure. So now, because of the technical problem, we have to shift two speakers around. But next speaker, if possible, I wanted to introduce